Hey everybody, hello, hello. How's it going? Hope you're all doing well. I am back again today, or I should say back again tonight, and I'm going to work a little bit more on the intuitive piece. Those of you that missed it, especially those of you over on my YouTube, or if you're over on my Instagram, I've got multiple places running. If you missed the beginning of the intuitive piece and you're interested in seeing how that kind of evolves, I'm about halfway done with it, but you can switch over later on and see the beginning of it from last night's feed over on my Facebook page. So this is kind of where I'm at right now. Everything is, nice and dry. This is a point where I like to just come in and I kind of study it and stare at it. Right now I have it to where it's kind of upside down, and I am not hating it at all, I have to say. Even though the drips are going up, I'm not hating it. So you can kind of play around with it at this point and flip it around and just kind of see kind of what floats your boat kind of thing, I guess. So I'm just debating. I'm either going to have it where it's dripping down or the drips are up, just because I think that's what is the word, that would be a little more uncommon and a little bit of a surprise, right, when your drips are actually going up rather than down. So all right, say hello everybody. Hello Vintage Home Candy, good to see you. Love the hair, thank you. I straightened it today. My hair is actually pretty curly. Hi, Jan. How are you? Hi, Dion. Good talking to you earlier today. Michelle, hello, hello. Teresa Moore, hello again. All right, great. So, and hello over on Instagram. I'm trying to multitask here. This is hard. I don't know how y'all do this. Dion, you're one. You do all the multiples, so I'm just now trying to get it. Angela says, hi, I got my order today. The wax brush will make life much easier, right? It is a very nice brush, and you will cover a lot of territory with that brush, let me just tell you. Hi, Vicki. So anyway, I'm just going to start painting today, and I'm talking a little bit about my Creators Club because the doors opened yesterday. We already have new members in that we're welcoming into the group. So I'm really excited to see all the new faces, and we will chit chat about the Creators Club today and answer any of your questions. I plan to go live every day this week about this time between 6 and 7. I'll be going live if all goes well. So that you guys can just see some of the different things that I do. So this is an intuitive piece. I'm going to continue. The mark making. So I talked a little bit about this yesterday. This is just a great exercise, you guys, to do, just to kind of loosen up. You want to just kind of loosen up when you are coming to the canvas, right? And you're feeling a little vulnerable, and you're feeling, like you don't know where to start. You don't know what you want to do yet. So this kind of gives some really cool little marks that we're putting right over top of the layers. So what I like to do, and I did, I've learned a lot about the mark making from an artist called Betty Krause. You guys can check her out. She's over on YouTube. I've been talking about her lately in my Creators Club and sending my members over to watch some of her mark making. She just does such a fabulous job at it. It's just really cool to see how something like that evolves. So get in there and try some new things. So this is kind of loosens you up. So that was a purple. These are oil pastels that I'm using right now. These are nice. You can just get little starter kits if you want of these. Thanks, Dion. Hello, Carrie from Northern California. So good to see you. How is California doing? I'm trying to keep an eye on things over there. I know that you guys have a lot going on. I'm gonna grab a yellow. There's really no name to this, but so I'm just gonna make some little markings. So we're doing. And this seems very, like when I first started doing this, I thought, what is this supposed to be? I just feel like I am doing nothing, like I'm just being a kid and scribbling around. But in all reality, I've got a piece here that I will show you that I did the mark making, lots and lots of layers. So if you look very closely, you can see how it really richens up your artwork. You can just barely see some of those marks, but it's all there, and it just gives all these layers of interest. And I think that it's really cool because you know, you want your painting, when you're making artwork, you want your artwork to it's on a wall somewhere, you want somebody to walk in the room and you want it to catch their eye and you want them to be like, wow, and you want that initial draw in, like they're drawing into your artwork. But once they get up to your artwork, you don't want it to be flat. You don't want it to have just no interest. All of these layers are putting lots of little backstories. Think of it as a life with many layers and stories on each layer that you're putting on. That's kind of how you can kind of think about it. I like that yellow on there. It's pretty vibrant, isn't it? Any questions? And hello over on Instagram. I swear I'm not ignoring you all over there. I have not been on Instagram Live for so long. Let's use, I want to do a little bit of green, I'm thinking. So you can really do, I know, like I said, when you watch Betty's, she does a lot of lines when she does her marks, which I think is kind of cool. So mine are not so much straight up and down. So I'm already kind of just feeling a little bit calmer. It's just kind of like getting me ready and prepared. I oftentimes think of it as like when you stretch before you go for a run or before you're working out, and you stretch out really good and you're going to warm up. That's basically what we're doing with the mark making. We're warming up and we're getting our body in motion. We're getting our mindset and in line with where our body is going and where our movements want to go, if that kind of makes sense. I know that sounds really weird and bizarre, but I swear that it really does work. You guys hear my trains going by. All right. So let me put this away. And let's start with, I'm just trying to decide what I want to start with. I think I want to do like some bolder, like deep blue in the middle there. Or even purple would work. Hold on, I'm getting into I call it my little box of tricks. We've got ultramarine, violet, so let's start with a little bit of that. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Do you have any questions about the Creators Club or anything? Oil pastels dry? Yep, they're dry. So you don't have to worry about it. Let me just talk a little bit. The Creators Club, the doors just opened, and I teach in there every Tuesday around 6 o'clock is about my normal. And we teach different classes. So we do the intuitive art. I do like usually a floral art. Let me show you one that we did this week. Not this week, this month. This is really cool. I'm such a sucker for sunflowers, and I'm not quite done with that. I want to put a little more, some edginess onto it. A little bit of metallic up here with one of those new knives from Dion's collection. Added that. But so this was our floral for the month. A lot of times the florals will go by the season. I try to keep that within the season. And then we also do a member's choice. So we've had throughout the summer, we've had the members asking for farm animals. So that was a lot of fun. So we've done quite a few animals. And really, I'm just very open to the topics that the members want to learn. So that's kind of how I run it inside there. Anyway, it is $27 a month, and there is no contract. You don't have to sign anything to be in there. You can just come in, join, fill it out a little bit. Just kind of see if you like it. Hopefully you'll love it, and hopefully you'll learn and connect with people in there, and hopefully you'll stay. So let's see. I want to thank you for always getting my paint orders out in such a timely fashion. I love paint mail. Absolutely. Oh, Karen, I didn't recognize you because of your business name. Yes, Karen, you are so welcome. Thank you so much for ordering from me. I absolutely, it is no problem. I usually try to get the paint. If you do order, I do sell the DIY clay-based paint. It's an all-natural paint, and I usually try to get it out within a day or two, unless you catch me like on a weekend. So I usually try to get it out pretty fast. All right. So let me go ahead and, guys, I gotta grab my water, sorry. Went live without my water. I did have it close by. All right. And I'm gonna probably do this pretty wet. Do you carry all the colors? I do, Nikki. I carry every single, I think if I'm out of anything, it's one of the blues. Like, I can't remember which one. One of, maybe I might be out of one of the blues. But yes, I try to always carry everything. All right. So I like to use really long handled brushes, which I know is kind of weird, right? It's kind of different. Oh, that's popping, isn't it? And you notice I'm just kind of like smooshing it. The reason there is a method to my madness, just kind of quit talking there for a second. It's so funny because you kind of do that. When you start painting, you kind of get into the zone. You do sometimes get a little quiet, which is what I just did. But it causes you to paint very, very loose when you have a long handle like this. And I like that. I'm gonna add some more drips. Because why not? So I am doing a very abstract. It's my favorite. I can do a pretty tight flower too, but I do that, like sometimes we do the Splatter and Chatter classes where it is a very step-by-step kind of a class, and I will probably come on, I don't know if I'll do it tomorrow, but I'll probably do something that is maybe smaller and something that is like where you're able to watch me do each step in a precise way rather than what I'm doing right here. But what I'm going to try to do this week is kind of show you guys just a little bit of my teaching style and all that good stuff so that you can kind of know what the Creators Club is about, and hopefully it'll perk a little bit of interest. So I like that. Here's my spray. I try to really have different classes for all the different personalities because, you know, there are some people that they really like direction and they really need it, especially if you are fairly new to painting, or if you are a painter that maybe you've only done step by step, or you learn better by watching someone. Everybody learns differently. So I really try to have these different styles of classes to appeal to all these different, you know, needs that everybody has out there. So, and I think it's working out pretty well. So, oh, I really like that blue, you guys. There's a little bit of a glare, isn't there? But boy, that's looking really pretty. So to me, after adding that blue, when I'm looking at it, that blue really makes that yellow pop in the middle a bit for me, now that I put that in there. So it's kind of like what I'm doing right now is just like this little dance. Little bit of a dance. So what I like to do too, you can see I have a bunch of paint left on my brush, and I'm about ready to use another color, but rather than washing this off and putting it in my water, getting my water all dirty, I'm going to add it onto my sides. And I'm going to clean my brush on my sides, so to speak. This is a good little tip, because we don't want to waste paint, right? And we don't want our water getting all dirty and we have to change it as much as possible, right? I'm going to go ahead and scrub some of that in. Scrub it in. All right. And your brush at that point should be kind of clean. So we're going to go in and clean it. Dip into the clean water. I usually have 2 buckets of water. I have one that I use to rinse off, and then another one that I use to saturate my colors. I'm going to go in with some violet. This is just acrylic paint that I'm using right now, guys. This entire bottom layer that I've used has a ton of the DIY clay-based paint on it. Then I've got layers of the pastel, the oil pastels, clay-based paint. I used spray paint on this yesterday, which was kind of fun. I may use a little bit later, I don't know. And then I'm using the acrylics. And this is the violet. I'm just gonna set this on here. Are there any other questions? I'm just so involved with my painting, I'm probably not even answering all the questions. Thank you, Llewellyn. Thanks, Michelle. Michelle is dropping some links right now that will take you to the Creators Club. And if you want to learn more about it, you can simply click on that and it will take you to everything that I teach. You guys, on top of just your weekly classes, I do want to point out that there is a ton more. We do offer all of the digital, like all of my, I call them my a la carte. I have like my Door Envy, Paint Like a Pro. I have a old truck video, different things like that. If you're a member of in the club, you get free access to all of those videos just for being a member, okay? I'm loving the purple and the blue with the undertone of the red, different reds that I used. And if you notice, I'm kind of painting, I'm laying that paint on there and then I'm kind of stepping back and I'm looking just to kind of give myself a little bit of space. When you are this close to a painting, it's kind of really hard to see the overall composition and the feel of it. So I often step back and kind of take a look, and that's kind of what I'm doing here. All right, I'm gonna spray it again. Put my sprayer, there it is. You can kind of control your paint a little bit with your spray. You can kind of push it that way, or you can push it down or push it back up. Oh, that's looking really cool. I'm really liking it. I know you guys have a little bit of a glare, don't you? Thanks so much, whoever sprinkled the love there. Let's see if I can. This is really wet. That gives you a little better view, hopefully. So you can see how deep those colors are. It's really making the yellow and that turquoise kind of stand out, isn't it? So I'm just sitting here kind of looking at it, trying to think about what I want to focus on next. I know I want to put some kind of like maybe, I don't know, greens or maybe up in here. So kind of looking, but the thing I don't want to completely, somebody's at the door, cover the turquoise that I have here. So I'm kind of just sitting here thinking about where I want to place everything. Everything is extremely wet right now too. Hi, Davina. How are you? You were on here last night, weren't you? And Sue Bargetto. Good to see you. Let's see, the yellow section is looking like the center of the flower. Ooh, so making it, that's an idea. So like this whole thing could be one flower, and this would be the center. And these are actual petals. So I like where your mind's going. That's actually a cool idea. I may have to go with that. It's super wet right now, so I'm just going to kind of, I'm looking at it in the monitor, and I'm kind of studying it a little bit as I let it drip and dry. D Huff, I'm late to the party. Join the Creators Club, but you can't figure out where to access the videos. Are you, okay, so D, first of all, D, welcome to the Creators Club. We're so happy to have you. Did you get inside? Did you get inside the group yet? If not, we will completely figure that out. Michelle Replogle on here. Maybe Michelle, you could look into that for me. Hi, Laura. How are you? So, gosh, you guys, I'm going to try to give you a close-up. Okay. Give you a close-up because so you can see all of the marks that I made a little bit better, right? Lots and lots of depth when you paint like this, I will have to say. Oh, okay, so D says, no, I've not gotten into the group yet. Absolutely, okay, we will completely get you in there, okay? No worries. So to me, like that turquoise is just popping in the yellow because of the dark flowers. Love the colors and drippiness. Yeah, thank you, I do too. It's just a very open and free way. So I'm gonna let that dry for a smidgen longer. I'm trying to think if I've forgotten to tell you guys anything, and I have. The Splatter and Chatter classes that I offer, let me show you what that would consist of. I've got one really close by here somewhere, maybe. Or I did have, hold on. Okay, so Splatter and Chatter classes, this would be a great example of a Splatter and Chatter class, and this is a step-by-step class. So okay, our base coat's going to be vintage linen, and then I give you instructions on how to do the circle. Sometimes we have templates. This is for a beginner. This is also what I teach in my studio here. So we have like kind of the paint and sip style, but they're called Splatter and Chatter is what I call mine. And this is what the ladies come in groups and have a night out together would paint. So you also have access to these classes in the Creators Club. If you're a beginner, you also have access to this if you are a seasoned artist and you want to learn how to teach classes. I give you the rights as long as you're inside the group to teach these classes, and I give you the tools and the information on how I teach. We also talk about some business stuff in there. However, you don't have to have a business to be in that group. It is really just art-centered, okay? But I do like to give any kind of information out to any of the ladies that are wanting to teach to help them along in their classes. So at the end of the month, like today is the end of the month, we did a Q&A and a creative encouragement. And so I talked a little bit about business and a little bit about how to run classes and the do's and the don'ts and how they could do their class better. So that's kind of what we talked about today. So that's just something extra perk. If you do teach the Splatter and Chatter classes, you will pay for your membership and you will also have money in your pocket. So it's a win-win, right? You'll be able to afford all your art supplies that way. To support our art habit. Oh, good. I think Michelle's got you worked out. Are there any questions? Michelle, I walked away. Oh, Michelle, I think you've got it. Yes. All right. So I'm going to get back to this. It's pretty wet still, so I think I'm going to do a little bit of maybe greens for the leaves, maybe some greenery. I don't really want it to be like literal, I don't think. Let's see. I think I want to do a little boho blue for the base of it. Generally speaking, I work thin layers usually on the beginning, and then as I work forward onto the top layers, my layers get a little bit thicker, typically. Let's do, I'm looking for use the edge brush for this. And I did get it wet first. And this is the edge from the Turquoise Iris and Paint Pixie. And these are really nice for getting these nice structures in that I want to put in right now. I don't know, it might drip a little bit. I don't know that I'm hating that, and it did, that's fine. Notice I'm gonna go up and over. I'm taking that color. I can't see it, but I know that it's gonna be fine. And the fact that I added water to this is helping make this a little more translucent, okay? Because the DIY paint has a ton of pigmentation in it. So if I was to go completely full bore with the dark color, which is Bohemian Blue, it would just completely cover all the layers that I put in. And I don't want it to completely cover everything. Okay. I don't know, this might be really too wet to do here. Pretty wet. I'm going to spray that because that's a little bit too dark. It's a little too dark on me. Did I miss anything? I don't think so. So nice to see all of you over on YouTube as well. I have not been able to, I've been having so much trouble loading videos. I've got 2 videos trying to get loaded, and it's like I've had one that's been trying to load for 4 days. So I must not be meant to do that right now. Get in there with my finger, and I think I'm going to drip this down a little bit more so it's not taking over. See how I just kind of moved that paint just by spraying it? It was starting to cover that yellow that I like, so you just right over it. Very, very easy. It is pretty darn wet. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab some color. Ooh, I know, because I want something super bright, and I don't know if this will be bright enough. I grab my golden. Ooh, or I could spray. Should I use a little spray? Let's try that. Nikki says she already signed up for the new group. Somewhere that I need to log into. They will be inside the group, Nikki. Okay, so Nikki, you're inside the group, so all you need to do is go to the unit section. And if you're brand new, fairly new, and you want to try the Splatter and Chatter classes, you just go to the unit section and you'll find the Splatter and Chatters there. Actually, they're all there, but you'll want to go to the Splatter and Chatter first. I mean, unless you've been doing art for a while, then you can venture off. I hope that helps. All right. Changing my mind. Because it's my business, right? Some spray paint I'm going to have fun with. Hello, Lexi, up there on Instagram. I see you. No, you are completely okay. So you can ask all the questions you want, Nikki. That's why I'm going live right now. I'll be going live every night this week just to kind of paint live and answer questions. I've got this really bright red. I don't know. This could be a mess. I don't know. But this is a water-based spray paint, you guys. And I'm just going to tell you, stuff is the business. It's awesome. Awesome, awesome. I'm going to shake it really good. If you notice all of the marks that are down here on my, I don't know if that's going to be the right red I want. Anyway, it's pretty bright. That's why I have the lines down here, because if it gets plugged, then it splatters out, right? So kind of. Actually, it splattered a little bit there, but I am not at all hating that. Ooh, it got a little much there. Here, let's spray that real quick. This dries fast too, so. There we go. Oh, guys, that's good. So if you notice that little tap of red that I just put in there, look at how that pops. Because what we've done is we're creating contrast, okay? So that contrast is popping, is making it pop. It doesn't help that the fan is on up above me, right? That is not helping me. I'm gonna make sure I don't get my new ring. You guys, I gotta show off my new ring. Don't look at my nails. Is it fabulous? I do not sell this, however, Blended Vintage Market sells it. Tell Andrea that Kelly sent you. Isn't it cool? It's my new fave. I'm trying not to get paint on it. So I think I'm going to do a little bit of something fun. It could be a mess. I don't know. I'm going to start scraping this a little bit. Oh, that was good. I like that. All right. That's good. Kind of feathered that out a little bit. I like that. Yeah, Laura, it's from Andrea at Blended Vintage Market. She will mail one right out to you. I'll give you another little peek. Isn't it awesome? And if you're out and somebody gets lippy with you, you just be like, boop. Just teasing. We would never do that, right? You need to show them up here at Instagram. I know, Michelle. Isn't that pretty? Michelle, I don't know if you are able to, but you're welcome to drop. You're going to drop Andrea's link here because it's gorgeous, you guys. And it has a little clasp on the back so you can make it bigger and squeeze it in. My hands are pretty small, so that's about as small as that will go. But yeah, it's really pretty. All right. Oh, goodness, we're getting rain, guys. So I'm taking my little spatula and kind of just pulling this, softening this out, my little spatula. And I am just playing, really. Just kind of playing. Accidentally blended my blue. It's a little bit wet, so I'm probably going to have to watch myself here. How are we doing on time, y'all? We are about 45 minutes in, and it is almost 8 o'clock. All right. Rain. Yeah, it has been so dry. So we actually really needed it. I'm going to do some layers over top of the blue. All right. Turquoise green. I got such a mess here, guys. And this is at the time too where if you wanted to, like, you could switch over and start using your knives now. Well, I mean, you could actually do that at any point, but now this is when I normally switch over and use knives, is towards that top layer. Okay. What am I spraying? I have water-based spray paint that I was spraying. Stuff is pretty dang cool. And I had water that I was spraying. So, but that red that I put in from my cans, that's that really vibrant, bold red that you're seeing. It's just like pow. So that's the spray. And this vibrant turquoise right here, that's from the spray. So you can see it really, really makes your artwork kind of pop, doesn't it? I'm gonna use my new toy from Dion. This is Paint Pixie's new knife that they offer. And this does a great job when you want to do greenery, leaves, things like that. It's nice and big. And it is pretty wet, so I'm going to be kid gloves here. I just put little touches in, kind of thick. Okay. So you can do a straight edge if you want, or you can see how I'm like kind of moving my hand. If you can kind of see. So you can do a straight edge with it, or you can move it around and kind of play with the shape, which I think is kind of fun to give it kind of an organic kind of a feel, right? So you have to think about that when you're doing flowers, florals, any kind of florals, you know, things are very haphazardly when you look at them. They're not always just pristine and perfect and in the shape, right? It's very wet at the bottom, so I'm gonna probably stop right there. All right, so gang, I hope that I've answered questions. Hey, Vintage Cindy, how are you? Are there any questions? Loving the way that's looking, and your ring is a good weapon. I know, I would never, but yeah, look, isn't that pretty? Any questions at all? Again, the doors are now open to the Creators Club. I only open up a few times a year, just because that way we can really, really dive in deep and really do some art studies together and get comfortable with each other, get to know each other. It's just been such a joy to watch the ladies in there grow. I have gotten to the point where once I start watching them when they come in and I see them grow, it's like I can look at their art and I know who it belongs to after a while. They really start to create their own voice, their own creative voice, which is really what I'm trying to do in that group. I want everybody to find their own jam, you know, find their zone, find their thing that really makes their soul happy and encourage them. And all of the ladies in there are so encouraging and uplifting. And we would love to see you guys in there. So hopefully, if you have any questions about it, follow one of the links that Michelle has dropped for me and just go learn more on the website. It's all written out of what all you get during the month. And again, there's no long-term contract or anything. My hope is that you come in, you have fun, you grow artistically, and hopefully it feeds your soul. That is the main thing, especially right now during the time, things that are going on right now. I think it's really important that we take time and feed our souls, and it's been a wonderful place to do that. So hopefully I will see you inside the Creators Club. It's only open for a few days, so we will see you inside there. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me, or you can ask one of the members on here. They'll be happy to answer any questions as well. So I'm going to call it a day with this because it's super wet, but I think it's looking pretty cool. We got some depth in there right now, and I'll be back on here tomorrow. I'm probably going to do a different project tomorrow, probably one that you can kind of follow step by step, one that's a little less abstract, maybe. So we'll see you tomorrow, somewhere between 6 and 7. All right. I hope to see you then. We'll see you later, guys. Bye.